Yo guys, Neb here, and with FNCS Qualifier 2 tomorrow, I want to go over all my mistakes on Qualifier 1 and help you guys prepare for the second qualifier. It didn't go to plan, and I think there's some mistakes that most people made, so I'm here today to fix them for you guys. If you're watching after FNCS, then it's fine, as these tips can also be applied to duo cash cups as well. So yeah, all I ask is that you drop a sub and leave a like, and let's get right into it. So guys, getting into game 1, the first thing I realised was actually how low elo game 1 was. In this lobby, it's definitely worth going for some mid-game fights, making sure you have good enough loot to play out a good end game. And by far, it was definitely the most unstacked lobby of the tournament. But don't take this quite too literally, because you can't underestimate any players, as obviously there are going to be some good players in the tournament. I'm just talking as an overall majority. If you're going for a nice high kill win in game 1 and you die doing so, I recommend using your first 3 games going for that attempt, and if you throw all those 3 games, then just start playing consistent end games. And say if you got that high kill win on game 2, then just start playing consistent from there. And the same goes for if you do it in game 1. Normally I would be saying not go for a too good first game so you don't get into high elo for the rest of your tournament. However, all of the games in FNCS are stacked, even when in top 10,000 lobbies, so it doesn't really make a difference in terms of how well you're going to be able to do in each lobby. The only difference in FNCS between the higher elo and the lower elo lobbies is the quality of the players. However, in both games, if you're managing to make it to end game without needing a refresh, i.e. having to fight these good players, then there's no difference. A mistake many people made, including my duo and I, was feeling like you have to make a big play to win the game. This is unnecessary because right here we had a Spider-Man, and now they only have 10 shots. Most people didn't have any left in this lobby, so we could have just had the advantage by playing the mid-ground layer, saving mats that way. However, we made a play for height with the mentality of height or nothing, and this threw our game too early when we could have got a top 3 or a top 2 and got far more points. We had 13 kills here, and we could have won the game with about 15 kills fairly easily. However, we cut our point short, ending with the equivalent of a 6 kill win. Obviously, a 6 kill win would be classed as a decent first game. However, when we had 13 kills here and perfectly good loot to win the game, we were only cutting our potential short. One thing you definitely can't do in Qualifier 2 is let one bad game at your drop spot make you go to another drop spot, because the chances are you'll not know that other drop spot as well, and you're only more likely to die there. Luckily, my teammate manages to reboot me, and what you should be doing after you get rebooted is not wasting time in your game. Make sure you're getting minimal loot and trying to get a refresh as soon as possible, and if you die, you get in a new game without wasting too much time. And if you manage to kill the players, then you have good loot and you should be able to play the game out. Consistency is key in FNCS Opens due to the stacked lobbies, and it's very easy to die after 20 minutes with only 5. So you have to be setting up yourself well for endgame, going for kills if you need to. However, if you found your duo and yourself dying trying to get that refresh too often, then it might mean that your off spawn just isn't good enough. You're not preserving your meds well enough when rotating, you're taking too much damage, or you're just too slow at looting. So yeah, make sure to go over your games from Qualifier 1 and check how often you needed refreshes before endgame. If you needed more than 3 in the entire tournament, I recommend practicing fast looting and devising an off-spawn plan to avoid getting scuffed. Because if you are scuffed off-spawn, if you're smart enough, you might know you need a refresh before endgame, and it's not worth playing out without, say, mobility. So you need to go for a kill, and that often brings a lot of risk along with it. On screen, as you can see in the top right corner, we have kills. We managed to get a refresh this game, and we have pretty good loot, but we can't conserve what we have. We pull a max distance zone and we don't have a car, so that means we have to run by foot, build, use shield from getting tagged by people needing surge, and yeah, it just overall ruins our game. If you guys are going for 7 end games, which I recommend you do, then you need to aim for top 5 at least 3 or 4 times. You can literally do this by conserving mats until the half and half zone, and then use all your builds in end game in a full tarp, not forcing refreshes, but just letting them come to you. Look on the backside of the zone, harpoon the loot, and you should be chilling. Of course, if you're a pro, you'll have your own playstyle, but if you just want to make round 2, then this method is just great for securing those final zones and getting that top 5 at least. This week I was playing with a different teammate because my teammate wasn't able to play. However, there's one thing that probably can be said for most teams, and it's that you're not playing to your strengths enough. Go into customs and test what gets you the best games. Do you do better with a harpoon? Do you do better with a Spider-Man? whatever, do something like that and you guys will have a much better chance in knowing how to get your consistent games when you need them. In the game on screen, we made sure to keep looking at height after each moving zone and we managed to take it when it was free, and yeah, we win the game from here. If you guys ever find yourself on height, also bear in mind you don't need many mats to hold it. As you can see, I only have about 100 mats here. One, I can harpoon loot, so I'm chilling in that form. And also, I'm making sure I'm spraying people loads. If I'm spraying second height, they're not even going to think to come onto high ground, as they just know in the back of their minds that we're probably stacked and it's just not worth going for it. So guys, that's been it for this video. I'm sorry it's not the highest quality, however we just had a storm in the UK and I just got on 2 hours before 6 PM when this video is uploaded. However, hope you guys can use some of these tips going into Qualifier 2. And yeah, I wish you guys all the best of luck and thanks for watching the video.